War Thunder, tips and tricks. Now there's a lot to be learned in this game, and if you're looking to be successful, it's best to learn them. Because these guys, they'll shoot you down in a second if you don't. Now I guess I'll start off by introducing exactly what War Thunder is. War Thunder is an MMO combat game focused around World War II military aviation. Some of the features of the game include a historical battle mode which lets you take part in real historical battles that actually happen, as well as an arcade-based multiplayer, which we'll see me playing in this video. Now, enough of that. As I mentioned before, this can be a difficult game to get into if you don't know the correct do's, don'ts, and maybes. So, without further ado, I'll stop delaying and get right into the tips. Playing your part and playing it well is something you'll need to learn how to do in this game in order to succeed as both an individual player and as a team. However, playing your part implies that you actually know what your part is. Now the roles in this game are fairly simple. There are 3 of them. There are bomber planes, there are fighter planes, and then there are assault planes. As a bomber, you're going to be, you guessed it, bombing. See those red dots on the ground? Yeah, those are your targets. Ideally, you won't be getting any dogfight action in a B-24D bomber. The role of fighters is quite a bit different from bombers, but it's just as simple. Your job is to defend your ground units from the enemy airplanes by whatever means possible. The assault planes are kind of like the hybrid of the group. They often carry options for rockets, bombs, as well as many different types of machine guns. So, you can pretty much do whatever you want with this type of plane and still be helping out your team in some sort of aspect. And the next thing you're going to want to focus on is getting used to sticking with your teammates. As much as I hate to say it, occasionally your teammates will bail you out of a tough situation. And not only that, teammates can also serve as a wonderful distraction to help you get kills. We've all felt the temptation to go Red Baron on someone's ass at some point or another, but you'll realize after playing this game for a while that maybe diving nose first by yourself into the hornet's nest is not the best of plans. Now, when it comes to engaging the enemy, there's a few main points I want to touch on. The first being the head-on. You've all seen it before, 2 airplanes flying at each other at full velocity, blazing their machine guns. Yeah, this is one of the most common tactics in War Thunder, yet one of the most ineffective and unprofitable for both parties. Many head-on battles will end in a crash, which is likely to kill or cripple your aircraft. So, needless to say, this is not a good tactic, and you should always try your best to avoid these types of confrontations. That is, of course, unless you have a clear, distinct advantage in either armament, weaponry, or both. Now, of course, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I called this video tips and tricks, yet didn't show you any tricks, so the first trick I'm going to show you is called the boom and zoom maneuver, or B&Z for short. And basically what the boom and zoom maneuver is you start off with an altitude advantage over your opponent in order to gain an energy advantage when you go in for the kill diving down towards the enemy. And here is obviously where the boom comes in, which is obviously shooting the enemy. And then you use that extra energy to quickly climb or zoom away from your target and out of reach of his guns. I know I killed that one back there, but if he were still alive after a pass, which is certainly a possibility, he wouldn't have been able to follow me and engage me. A few more helpful bits of advice when engaging an enemy is to not fire from too far away and fire in short bursts. You're not going to have too much success firing at an enemy from a kilometer away, and even if you do manage to hit them, they're going to know you're coming extra early, and they're going to have that much more time to get away from you. Also, don't try to attack enemies that your teammates are already actively engaged in. You're just going to get in the way, get yourself killed, or get your teammates killed. Now the most important bit of advice that I think I can give you in regards to evading the enemy is to always be aware of your surroundings. You can do this by holding down on C and checking your left, right, up and down, and just generally being aware of your surroundings, remembering to keep on the lookout for enemy planes. Remember, if the enemy can't even sneak up on you, you're not going to have too much trouble getting away from the enemies. However, under the unfortunate circumstance that you do actually catch a bogey on your tail, one maneuver you can perform is the all-famed barrel roll. Now the point of this maneuver, besides being awesome and giving you nostalgic flashbacks of Star Fox 64, is to make yourself a much more difficult target to hit. It can also be used as a stalling tactic because barrel rolls slow your overall forward velocity, therefore often causing the enemy to overshoot you and therefore making him land right in front of you, directly in front of your crosshairs. Another popular tactic used by dogfires to evade enemies is the scissor roll. Now the scissor roll is basically barrel rolls while swinging to the left and right at a very high velocity. Scissor rolls are performed best with very light planes with very small turn radiuses, so I wouldn't try this with any bombers. However, when perfected, the scissor roll can make you a near impossible to hit target. Now the last trick I have for you guys in evading enemies is the spiral climb. Now this trick is exactly what it sounds like. You just climb in a spiral. Now the advantage that this trick comes with is it makes your plane move relatively little, so it gives your teammates ample time to swoop in and help you out. Now the obvious disadvantage is it makes you an easy target for the enemy if he anticipates your moves. Yes, BS does indeed happen, but it's important to come to terms with the fact that you're not going to win every single fight. But, however much your deaths may be attributed to bugs, glitches, hacks, lags, whatever, you gotta remember that getting angry at the game only makes things worse. I have yet to meet someone who plays better when they're angry. You start to rush your decisions, you start to not think over your maneuvers as much, and it just makes the game overall completely less enjoyable altogether. So my advice to you is, if you think you're getting mad at the game, if you think you're getting a little bit too flustered, just take a short break, maybe go outside or something. Just kidding. Psh, who does that? Outside. But seriously, if anything, use that rage as fuel to feed your desire to get better at this game like I did. I know I got hella mad at this game at certain points in time, but I went on the wiki, looked up tactics, all this stuff. And, I mean, now I just enjoy the game a lot better because I'm better at it. Because I got better. Because of BS, essentially. So, try not to get too angry at the game. It doesn't help, trust me. And that just about concludes my tips and tricks for War Thunder. If you guys think I missed something, which I'm completely positive I probably did, just let me know in the comments or send me a message. I might make an update video sometime in the future, considering this game is still in beta stage. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.